Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to 10-Minute Reviews with Han, your host. So today I played Dima42, who's a 2Q player. For those of you who don't know, the ranking system in Go goes from 30Q to 1Q, and then you reach the black belt levels of 1 Dan all the way through 9 Dan. So 2Q is pretty close to 1 Dan, or black belt level. So let's see how I fared against Dima42. We started off with the 4-star points. I decided to approach from the top right. And for those of you who don't use the online Go server, there's an AI who helps you analyze the game afterwards. So I'm going to be relying on the AI a little bit to help me with this. I like this approach. Other options could be like jumping into the 3-3 point, which the AI really likes to do. Or you can come in and attack from the inside like this. And then the AI suggests that the white player just jump into the 3-3 point right away, which some professionals have been playing these days, but I'm not too sure that humans are able to make it work. It seems like the AI has been having a lot of success with it though, and who are we to argue, right? We're just mere humans. But anyway, I approached from the outside and he extended along the left, which I expected. And I jumped into the 3-3 point because I want to try being like AlphaGo. White did a large knight's move, or a Kema. If you guys are new to the vernacular, then Kema is a large knight's move. The AI suggests to play at F2, but you can see that the variation that it leads to is kind of interesting here, where white kind of extends along and makes a wall. So. And black gets Sente here, which is good. I would have liked to get Sente here, so maybe I should have considered this move F2, and I will do that in the future. But what I was focused on was just making sure that these would be connected. I wasn't too familiar with this Joseki, or this opening sequence here. Instead of extending, I guess I thought white would Hane here. I would push here because I'm threatening to cut, and at this point white can choose to either play here or play here. If white plays here, then I can do this. White connects, I Atari, and he plays this and I capture. This would be kind of like another opening sequence that's very common nowadays, especially with the advent of AI. But what I chose to do was I just chose to play, I just chose to play here, keep it very simple, and white gets Sente here. My opponent jumped into the R6 point. So this is a low knight's approach, and AlphaGo tends to respond to this, from what I've seen, by either playing here, here, or here. And A kind of makes a territory here, but I'm not really familiar with the A Joseki. I'm more accustomed to C or D, or B or C. So what I chose to do in the actual game was B right here. Let's see how it progressed. So white jumped into the corner, which Dima does like to do. I played him a number of times, and he seems to really like this corner variation. We connect and follows like this. So the AI likes to just pass here and play something like this, for example, which would be followed by this sequence of moves, at least here. I'm not sure about this part here, but at least this sequence of moves seems to be pretty common for the AI. And black would finish by extending here, and there leaves a little bit of room for white to play here. Traditionally, white used to extend as well here after this sequence of moves, but that has fallen out of fashion since the AI revolution, or the AlphaGo revolution. But what I chose to do was I chose to play the standard Joseki, which would be to play here. The AI says that's worth a minus like 1.3 points, but considering my skill level, 1.3 points can fluctuate very, very, very rapidly, and I would be able to kind of secure this area a little bit better. Because what I'm worried about if I play away, like for example if I played here, would be this sequence where white could play here, and then white would start attacking my group here. So here white decided to invade, And what I wanted to do was play this move so that I could extend my territory here. It seems like it's a battle between this move or that move. This move would have actually been great, actually, because I could jump into this point after white extends here if I play here. But what I was thinking was white could take this, and this is not. I don't really like this because white can live too easily. But there's still some aji over here for white to jump into the corner. So I didn't really like this for myself, but it seems like the AI really does enjoy this. But anyway, in the game I jumped in like this at R12. White decided to tenuki at this point. I haned back, and white decided to play down here, which I guess is fine. Oh, the game says to cut here. Interesting. Followed by this sequence, and then push out. Oh, interesting. So this is like a miai, right? So miai means I can play either one of two moves. If white, like, I don't have to play here anymore because the corner group is fairly safe. If I protect the corner like that, and if white decides to capture this stone, then I can play here to live. And white would play another stone. Or if white decides to save this stone, which is probably a better shape for him because he can. The previous sequence kind of seems sketchy for him. I would be able to take this stone, and I would still be able to survive. And I've been able to successfully cut his two groups, from which I can start either attacking this group or I could start attacking this group. And this would be able to run out and make life or either connect up with another group. So this isn't what happened in the game, but this cut is very interesting. What I did in the game was I played here because I just wanted to make some life, but I guess I don't have to play anything here because if white, again, miai, if white takes here, then I can just play here and survive. So this does seem like a better move. But I took white protected, and then I played S16. Now, the point of playing S16 was that I wanted to take away white's eye space, and I also wanted to make secured my corner. But you can see that there's actually weakness in this area. If white pokes in R16, I can't just block it off because white can attack from below and live in the corner, something like that, right? So it's actually not that great. If I play on this side, then white can run out that way, and because I don't have another stone on this side, even though I get the corner, he has a very good foothold to start expanding. So I don't really like this position for black. So this was, I think it was a mistake. I should have played at R17 or at R16, and that would have been fine for me. But I did play this. White started attacking my stone. I pincered it, and then white decided to cover. So here I have a number of moves. The AI suggests to poke here, and then to start building the moyo, some territory at top. What I chose to do was I chose to poke down at bottom. And this is kind of giving away 2 points away to white, apparently, according to the AI. But the idea was to jump here, and so that I can make some life on the left side, because I wanted to reduce white's territory. White played here, very solid move, and then I made some eye space for myself. White played here, which is securing the corner, and he also likes to play a little bit safe, so I respect that. I was thinking about this move, but I wanted to use this cutting point at some point. I wanted to play this at some point. Obviously not now, because then he can just cut my group out like this. But I was considering this move. Instead, I decided to secure my territory a little bit stronger. But white decided to attack my group right away. And I tried to play on the bottom here because I wanted to secure some eye space for myself. So white opted to play on this side, which apparently the AI thinks is worse. But I extended here to make some eye space for myself. White played here, which attempts to secure this area. So I wanted to build my own moyo on the upper side, and I wanted to limit white's expansion, so I played here. White responded to this by pincering this stone with a M8. And I didn't think that I needed to play any severe moves in response to this, because no matter what I do, this white stone looks like it's going to be able to run away. So I wanted to just secure my territory. Apparently the AI likes O13, but I played Q13, which has the same idea. So then white diverted his attention back to my left group, attacking it and also threatening to encircle this area in the middle. So I attached on this side. White extended, I extended. She secured his territory, and then I pushed once to create some Aji, which is weakness. And then the AI suggests to cut here right away, but I played once here. And then white diverted his attention to the right side. So here was really when I should have pushed on the left side to invade white's territory, right? And then white couldn't have really done anything, so he would have played away. But instead, what I did was I thought I had a big brain strategy. So what I was thinking was that I would Hane here, Atari here. I would be able to cut this group and make a ladder work. So white extends here, I would play here, and then I thought by playing here I was being smart because white would attach, and then this ladder would be in my favor because of this stone that I played, right? So I would capture that. But what my big brain didn't think of was this move. So then the ladder actually doesn't work, because once I play this, this becomes Atari, and then if I extend here, then white would capture it. So I didn't think of that. What I should have done was, like the AI says, play here. And then break into the center that way, with a threat of cutting at F4, because if he connects and then he threatens to invade, then this would look really bad for him, right? So that would have been the simple way to play, and I should have picked that. But of course, I thought I was being smart with the ladder, so I played here. But white sensed some kind of danger, so he played on the outside anyway. And white tried to push me into that corner here, and we ended up into this sequence. So this was a part in the middle of a game where I thought I could use something here in order to attack white's group. I started with this move. White attached, I played here, white extended, and the idea was to capture these white stones. I thought it worked. It kind of looks like a net, right? When I play here. But it actually isn't, because when white plays here and I play here, white can just escape by taking this one stone. I thought it was either a choice between that one or giving up this group. But so it didn't work out the way I thought. The AI says I can play here and I would be way ahead at 19.1 points, which does feel good, right? But I didn't play that. What I did was I instead forced here. I threatened to capture this area, and I played the worst move possible here, which is H3. You see, so the AI thinks I go from plus 13.7 points here ahead to white's winning by 5.9. So it was a 20-point swing just from that move. I should have just played here, and then it would have been very simple. I would invade this territory just like I planned, and white would be left trying to defend this group that doesn't have eyes anymore, maybe with a sequence as the one suggested by the AI, right? So this would be fighting. So really, this move was the losing move for me of the game, because once white cuts, I'm forced to respond by playing there. And then white just has a sequence of really good moves, and it looks like white's going to win. So here I played my moves to reduce white's territory. I played down here first, and the computer just suggests to play here to secure my moyo, or my big territory. But I thought this was important, so I played here. White can jump in here. Actually, the AI says that there's actually a good sequence here for white to play, but I don't think my opponent saw this. This is quite a complex position. White just played away, and I secured my territory over here. And apparently, the computer doesn't think that white can do. Apparently, we thought that white couldn't do anything here, but white definitely could have. So I pushed here first to reduce white's territory a little bit before I jumped into the large Keima here, or the knight's move. White chose to defend his territory. I pushed here because I wanted to secure this territory for myself. And now we just enter Yose, which is the end game. So apparently we're not very good at Yose because we made some mistakes here, but I don't think it really mattered to the game that much. The next big point that the points kind of shifted was, so white thought it was over, basically, from the position down at the bottom, but I thought I had there was a clever move over on the right side with that corner there. Here. So actually, this is not white's territory if I play here. So if you ever see this this sequence over here, so there's no reason to play here. There's a lot of like things that black could threaten to do, but I think it all ends useless. The AI just suggests playing here because there's no other way that black can win. But when I played here, it's either a seki or a ko. So if you don't know why, then pause at this stage and try to figure out why. If white plays here, then black can actually take away this pot. White can play here, and then black can play here. So then if white plays this spot, then black can capture, right? So white doesn't want to play that area. If white passes and black plays in this area right here, then as you can see, white can capture this group. So neither player wants to play anything in this area, so which makes it a seki, which means that neither of us get a territory. So I reduced it from like 8 points to like 0 points, right? White chose to play out the ko by playing here, which gave me an opportunity to actually capitalize and win. I should have played here, and that would have won me the game, because there are a number of ko threats that I could have played in order to secure the win. But I thought that this was enough, and white thought otherwise. So white took here, and I played here, and white covered, and that was basically the end of the game. I lost by 0.5 points. So if I had played somewhere else, played some other ko threat that was bigger than those 3 stones here, I would have won. But white does have a lot of ko threats over here by threatening to make a life. But I might just let him live, because I can just take this corner, and that corner is bigger than this corner, and maybe I would have won that way. So in the end, it was a very interesting game. I learned a lot, and hopefully that improves my gameplay in the future. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like this kind of review type videos, please let me know and I'll make some more. That's all for today. See you guys next time. Peace.